Welcome back to Jersey Matters. I'm Larry Menti. We are recording this show on the day after an historic election, the day that Donald Trump won the presidency. We're in the State House in New Jersey. And on the stage with Donald Trump last night was Chris Christie. What will his role be in a Trump administration, if any? To talk more about that is Bob Ingle, who is a political analyst, a New York Times bestseller. His book, Chris Christie, The Inside Story of His Rise to Power. As always, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. What role will Chris Christie have, if any?
I think he probably will have a role if he wants one. Several reasons for that. Trump really likes loyalty. Christie has been working on putting together a Trump administration for several months now. And I think Christie would love to be out of New Jersey.
Now, I heard something, and you tell me, you might have the inside story on what he might do. I heard that they will not offer him a cabinet position because they don't want him to go in front of the Senate.
I've heard the same thing, that you get grilled when you're in that position. They ask you a lot of questions, and because of Bridgegate, he might not want to go there. So
it would be chief of staff or some advisory role?
I thought he might be a really good chief of staff because he has that management technique. But I'm hearing maybe Homeland Security, which would sort of fit in with his U.S. attorney background and how he was going after people that meant us no good. So that would make sense.
But Homeland Security would require a confirmation hearing.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we're back to Bridgegate, are we? I would think he would be a really good chief of staff, but I heard that for a while there, and I haven't heard it much recently. But I did throw the other one in, which would mean they would dismiss any harm that might come out of a hearing.
So now he is the head of the transitional team, and I love the way that it was in the papers. He's head of the transitional team for now.
Yes.
Not certain what that means.
Yes.
What do you read into that?
Well, they don't want to commit to anything. They don't want to be on record as saying, well, when the reporters come back and say, but you said, and they're going to say, well, no, we said for now. We didn't say forever.
But for now would prevent him from stepping down as governor, wouldn't it?
Well, if he accepts a position, he of course is going to have to leave. But between now and then, he could still do that transition thing.
Really?
And well, he's been doing it for 3 months as
That's
governor. Why couldn't he do it for another 3 months?
I guess he wouldn't care what the voters in New Jersey.
He hasn't cared
anymore.
so far, and it's showing. You know, the last poll, he was 19% approval rating. You know, if that goes much lower, he'll be in single digits.
Do you think that he's going to leave?
I think that he would like to get a job in the administration in Washington, which would require him to leave.
And he would want to leave to avoid any more investigation by the legislature into Bridgegate?
I think that's probably a part of it, but I think he's just tired of the job. I think the last year that he has is going to be a lot rougher than what he's been going through, because you know he's a lame duck. He's out of here, and they may not be as kind as they have been before.
There was a question that was just on the ballot that passed, and that's if all the money from the gas tax would be earmarked for transportation use. He came out for it. His lieutenant governor, for the first time, Kim Guadagno, came out against it, bucked his wishes. Was that contrived?
Late in the game, she came out against it, is what everybody points out. I think probably she was setting herself up for running for the Republican nomination for governor. And when people say, but all you did was rubber stamp everything he wanted to do and stand 3 feet behind him, she will be able to say, well, no, there's that question two thing.
Yeah, and the reason I brought it up, it's because it seemed like she's her own woman now and she's breaking away from Chris Christie. Would she do that without his blessing?
I don't think she would, actually. I think they may have had a conversation about it. What would you say if I came out against question 2? And he probably said, go for it, I may be out of here. And that would leave her governor, of course, if he went to Washington. And that would give her about a year of incumbency before she ran for election.
And where does Bridgegate go from here? Is he going to be implicated more than he is now?
I doubt it seriously. The testimony in the trial, his name just kept coming up, and the question was, well, why isn't he charged if all these other people keep bringing him up? And the U.S. attorney basically said that he didn't have enough to charge him. So if he didn't have enough then, I doubt seriously he's got enough now.
But they do want to reopen the investigation in the
yeah,
state Senate.
Some of his political friends, shall we say, would like to bring it up and drag it through the mud again, because the legislature is going to be on the ballot too. But I don't see them coming up with anything we don't already know.
You wrote a book called The Inside Story of the Rise of Chris Christie.
Right.
Is he going to rise again?
He seems to have like a cat's lifespan, 9 lives, Every time you start counting him out, whoa, he comes back. So I wouldn't put it past him if he gets involved in some kind of thing and does a really good job. And the public tends to forget. They say, well, okay, that was back then, but look what he's done since then. And he's a young man too, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, we all shall see. Thank you very much, sir. Bob Ingle, political analyst, New York Times best-selling author. The book, Chris Christie, The Inside Story of His Rise to Power. When we come back, we're going to talk about the polls. They were criticized last night. We'll find out what went wrong when Jersey Matters continues.